Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Praise be to Allah who has blessed our lives with His faith and the blessings of His time. Salawat and salam to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who, because of him, the religion of Allah spread, so that the era of darkness became an era of light. To the honorable judges, on this occasion, allow me, Rafi Azzam Hernawan, to deliver a short speech that I had with the topic raising a judiciously spurred generation in implementing morals, technology, and culture. I hope this speech that I profit will make future generation wiser in using the facilities in this new era. Day after day passed, week after week, month after month, year after year, and finally, era after era passed. The Industry Era 1.0 is the era that exists with the invention of the steam engine by James Watt. Then, the Industrial Revolution 2.0 occurred because of the discovery of electric power. Then, the Industrial Era 3.0 focuses on inventing innovative machines such as computer. Then, the era of 4.0, whose primary support is the internet. Before we know what the fifth era is, we must first learn about the fourth era. Era 4.0, or called the Industrial Era 4.0, is an era that allows all entities in it to communicate with each other at any time directly using internet technology. The German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, argues that Industry 4.0 is a comprehensive transformation of all aspects of production in the industry, through combining digital technology and the internet with conventional industry. In this fourth era, we can relate to other people in real time without having to meet face to face with that person. This is very influential, especially on the world economy. Imagine, only by using the internet, we humans can buy and sell wherever we are. Only with that, we have significantly expanded all thanks to the fourth era. After we know what era 4.0 is, let us explore more about era 5. Humanity has broken through the thick barrier between eras 3 times, and now 4 times. We have entered the 5.0 era. This era is called Society 5.0. Society 5.0 is a human-centered and technology-based concept of society. In this era, the community is expected to be able to solve various challenges and social problems by utilizing multiple information that were born in the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 to improve the quality of human life. However, when a solution is conquered, a new problem arises. We will become less human. Not in the total sense, but in the sense we social beings become less social. We interact less and less. with each other, and we prefer to be alone with the internet, which makes everything easier. Then a more serious problem arose. Our culture can disappear. How do we find the solution? The first problem that needs to be known is the meaning of the problem. After that, we will find a solution. Here, the problem is the loss of culture. So, what is culture? Why did it disappear? What happens if culture disappears? What should be done to prevent the problem? I will answer all these questions after this. Culture is the overall attitude and patterns of behavior and knowledge, a habit inherited and owned by a member of a particular society. Cultures affect many aspects of life, including religion, customs, politics, language, buildings, to work of art. However, cultures can fade due to several factors, including a lack of public awareness of local culture, lack of communication about culture, lack of cultural learning, so that the impact of Indonesian youth lose their identity as Indonesian people who hold fast to the Indonesian culture. and no less dangerous. The convenience provided by the current era can make people forget the existence of civilization. To overcome this problem, there are several solutions that, if done together, will restore the cultures that are threatened by extinction. Three things are required: manners, knowledge, and imagination. Why are these three things needed? Manners is necessary to maintain the goals, morals, and use of the convenience of this era. With knowledge, one will know what is right and wrong, and one can be honorable by using his ability. And finally, imagination, the pinnacle of wisdom. Why does science always seem to develop with knowing limits? This can happen because imagination is the key. Then, what are the manners that need to be known? Among them, first, always remember what we do, because we will reap the results. Why should we always remember that? So that we are aware of what we are doing in this new era. Second, do not comment badly on what other people do. Try. If we become people who are poorly criticized by others, will our hearts still feel calm? Will our minds feel restless and anxious? Of course, our heart and minds will feel upset and think about what we do. Therefore, do not comment negatively on something that is done or made by others. Besides, give input with good manners and words to the person. Last, if you want to spread news, examine the truth of the information first. This is very necessary. News is essential in our lives today. Therefore, it is perilous if we spread news that turns out to be fake. If that happens, our social life will feel anxious and scary. Then, knowledge. Let us talk about this in a specific area. That is the field of culture. Why lead to many verifying cultures? Because here, we try to explain how to prevent and restore Indonesian culture from the brink of extinction. What needs to be learned from this field? Of course, we need to understand what culture is. Cultures on the verge of extinction, and most importantly, how to restore culture from turning to mist. What is culture? As explained earlier, culture is the overall attitude and pattern of behavior and knowledge, a habit inherited and owned by a member of a particular society. Then, what is an example of cultures on the verge of extinction? For instance, the Marawai dance. Marawai dance is played by children with 7 dancers. This dance is rarely played. This is a youth dance that depicts with the joy of children from fishing families. Rejoice. The dance movement pattern is like a person pedaling in canoe. The dancers are like sitting on a canoe. This is an example of cultures on the verge of extinction. What do we need to do to hold it from extinction? Learn about the culture. Then spread the culture. That way, people will not only know the cultures, however, people will also create a sense of interest and curiosity about the culture. After that, there is imagination. Imagination has a simple meaning. However, the power of imagination is not as simple as its understanding. Imagination is a person's thinking power to imagine or create an image in his mind. Imagination is also usually described with the word "what if." Maybe here we have got an idea of what imagination is. However, it turns out that imagination is more powerful than we think. Just imagine, we used to think we could only send messages to each other using letters, and it costs quite a bit of money. And even then, have to wait at least one day to reach the intended person. Then, someone thinks or instead imagines. What if humanity could message each other over a long distance in real time? So, an inventor was born. He used to be just an ordinary person and now is recognized as a genius because of his inventions. His name is Matthew McConaughey. Then, go to the last stage, the way and the impact of merging the two. With these three things, humans can better take advantage of this new era. With morals, people will not exceed the limits of moral boundaries. With knowledge, people will know what he should do in this new era. With imagination, people will be able to develop the understanding they already know. After that, is this ability to change Indonesian cultures to be more famous and get people interest in learning about our cultures? Of course, this can change the way people view our cultures. With the added convenience of this new era, we can spread our culture to make our culture more famous. This can make Indonesia more prominent and get Indonesia more advanced. And also, Indonesia will no longer be underestimated by other countries, so that our beloved country, Indonesia, will walk side by side with other countries or even exceed them. And the end of all this is that we can finally compete internationally. That is a short speech from me. I hope this speech is helpful for the younger generations. If there are mistakes in my little speech, I apologize. And I thank the jury for giving their valuable time to listen to my speech. I am Rafif Azzam Hernawan from Ibnu Hajar boarding school, and I have finished speaking. Wassalamualaikum.